Good afternoon, everyone. To be completely honest with you, I didn't want to do this talk. I was completely and utterly terrified. I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. I thought that I was going to fail while I was walking up here. I was going to fall. And to be completely honest, for the last week, I've been using the bathroom nonstop. But I realized that no one else is going to give this speech for me. I have to come up here and do it myself. I have to make the choice to succeed. You have the choice to succeed. Just like Benjamin Franklin. At the age of 10, Benjamin Franklin dropped out of school because his parents could no longer afford it. But did that stop him? No. He said, I'm going to continue to teach myself how to read. He eventually invented the lightning rod and later became one of our founding fathers. And he's on my favorite dollar bill, the $100 bill. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most successful people in the world, and what a lot of people don't know about her is that when she was young, she was in an abusive household. In this household, she was impregnated, and she ran away from home having a miscarriage to a baby boy. She didn't let that hold her back, though. She became one of the world's best entrepreneurs, and her net worth today is $2.9 billion. Jim Carrey. Now, on my search to find someone who had gone through adversities, I never thought that I would find Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is so funny. He has everything that he could ever want, I thought to myself. But reading his story, I was changed. He was homeless. He lived in the back of his father's van, where his father was a musician who happened to be unemployed. Every weekend, his father would take him to different comedy shows where he finally got a hit on In Living Color, one of my favorite TV shows. Now, Bill Gates. Whenever you think of someone who's successful, I'm pretty sure Bill Gates comes to your mind. But did you guys know that he created a program before Microsoft that was so incredibly worthless that no one wanted to invest in it? It was called Tuffadata. He spent so much money and so much time in creating this that he was so dejected when no one wanted to invest in it. But this springboarded him into creating a new program called Microsoft. And he says still to this day that if he had not created Tuffadata, then he wouldn't have Microsoft. Now, myself. When I grew up in a town that said you have to run for student class president. So that's exactly what I did. Every year since 6th grade, I've run for student class president. You want to know the truth? I lost every single year to the same person. I was so dejected. I didn't know what to do with myself. Every year I went home and I said, I'm not going to run anymore. I'm not going to do this. And my mom had to hear me rant for hours. But every year, for some reason, I chose to run again. At the end of my junior year, it was time to run for student body president. I ran for president, and guess what? I lost. I was so angry that I had to make the choice to succeed. I got up to the front of the classroom, and I said, I'm going to do this. I ripped up my paper, and I gave my speech for student body vice president. After doing this, I was so nervous. I was shaking. I sat down on my seat, and they announced it, and I won student body vice president. Now, in order for you to succeed, you need to do 3 different things. The first is you need to encourage yourself. Now, encouragement is one of the key things for you to be able to do to understand that you are worthy. When you are working with other people, encouragement is so incredibly beneficial, you may not even know. My 6th grade teacher came up to me and said, you have the highest score on this test. I said, whoa, no, not me. No. But he said, you are worthy of so much. You need to try in school. And at this time, I was a little rebellious. I didn't want to try at all. But by him telling me that and him encouraging me to succeed, that's exactly what I did. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Remind yourself that you are worthy no matter what, as long as you make the choice to succeed. Now, you have to have patience as well. Patience is a key. You're not going to go on the court and make that three-point shot immediately. Unless you're Michael Jordan. You also are not going to go and take a test and immediately get an A if you've never taken the class before. So, what do? You practice. You have patience with yourself in order to understand that you've made the choice to succeed and something is going to come of that. Finally, acceptance. Sometimes you're going to fail. But that does not mean that you accept those failures. You just have to accept the fact that you have to take that learning experience and turn it into something that is incredibly beneficial to yourself. If you're working with someone else, if they make the choice to do something you don't want them to do, you have to encourage them and be patient with them as long as they're making the choice to be successful. My mother always tells me, I don't care what you are, as long as you're the best person doing it. So now I've handed out pieces of paper, and if you guys all haven't gotten one, I would hope that you would share with someone next to you. So each and every one of you guys need 2 pieces of paper. And you guys that are watching at home are going to be watching this later, you need 2 pieces of paper. On this paper, I write you to write down your fears and your insecurities, things that you think are going to stop you from being successful. I'll give you guys a few seconds to do that. You need at least 2. All right, so even though you guys are still writing, or you may be still writing, I want you guys to close your eyes and imagine this. Imagine that the person that you don't like has all of your qualities of fear. Now imagine talking to this person, you're completely overwhelmed, you're shaking, you don't know how to deal with it, you're scared. But imagine opening your mouth and telling them, I'm not letting you holding me back anymore. And now you're turning around to walk away. And you're not looking back anymore. Open your eyes. Now I want you guys to tear up your papers. Now, while you're tearing up these papers, you're tearing up all of your fears and all of your insecurities, everything that has ever held you back. You're tearing up that person telling you, you're not going to succeed. You're tearing up the times that you've told yourself. Now, what I want you to do with your second piece of paper is write down things that are beautiful about yourself. You need to have at least 5 this time. Now, there are some people in the room that are groaning, like, I can't write down 5 beautiful things about myself. Well, let me tell you, you can. Every single person that walks this earth, no matter if it's in history right now or will be in the future, you have beautiful things inside of you. So I want you to write those down on your pieces of paper. All right, now what I want you guys to do is listen to me say this quote. Because of feelings of fear, people never step out. Therefore, they never find out what they're capable of. So the fears that you just tore up were hindering you from making the choice to succeed. But now that you find the most beautiful things about yourself, you're willing and capable to do whatever you want to do. So I want you guys to say these things to yourself out loud or in your head. I am available to more good than I have ever experienced in my life. I am capable. I am strong. I am fearless. I am priceless. And I will achieve my dreams. That's all of you guys. I don't care how old you are. You may be 20 years older than me or 20 years younger than me. It doesn't matter. Everyone has fears. Everyone has those things that keep them from making the choice to succeed. But I want you guys to know that no matter what, you guys can make the choice to succeed. Now I'm going to do something, and it's called the mouse activity. So as you guys can see, there's a mouse trap set up here. Now I'm terrified of mice. I'm terrified of anything that will hurt me. I can't even get a shot without still holding my mother's hand. This thing is set. And previously, I wrote 3 things on the back that I'm afraid of. I'll share those 3 things with you guys. The first is not doing well in college. The second is not having funding for college. And the third is not being smart enough to function in society. Now, on the front of this mousetrap, I wrote the things that are beautiful about myself. I wrote 3 as well. I said I'm dedicated, I'm motivated, and I have charisma. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand on this trap. Now, it's set to kill mice, so it could probably break my hand, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand on it. You guys think I should do it? No, I shouldn't do it. Okay. All right, I'll do it. Okay. All right. So I'm holding this thing in my hand. It's set. You know, if I let it go too fast or too quick or too slow, it could break my hand, but I'm going to let it go now. So it was set. If you guys didn't believe me, that just happened. What I was doing was on the bottom were my fears, but I don't want to look at those anymore. That's why they're on the bottom. And on the top, I had the things that I want to look at, the qualities about myself that are worthy of other people noticing as well. And I have everyone telling me, either I can or I can't. A lot of you guys said I shouldn't because I was going to break my hand. But a lot of you guys encouraged me. So I want you to remember to grab everything, every opportunity that you face in your life head on, putting equal pressure on both sides so that when you release it, you know that you're going to be successful. Now, I'm going to do a little lesson for you guys in psychology. If you guys continue to tell yourself these fears, you have something called low self-efficacy. Now, self-efficacy is the way in which you view yourself being reflected in your activities. So I'm going to tell you a little story. There was a girl. She was a 16-year-old Hispanic girl. She walked into her ACT knowing that all of the statistics around her told her that she was not going to score well because this ACT was never designed for her. So she sat down knowing that she was going to fail. When she got her score back, that's exactly what happened. Now, the second student came into the exam knowing that she had all of these stereotypes around her, knowing that everyone was telling her that she couldn't succeed, but she was going to show them wrong. She knew that she could. By the time that she got her ACT score back, she got a 33. Now, these 2 students have low and high self-efficacy. The first student has low self-efficacy. Low self-efficacy is saying, I am bad, I am worthless, I am not good, and positive saying, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it. And by having those things in her life, she had a deeper ditch. So I want you guys to imagine a field. And in this field, there are ditches. And every time someone tells you something negative about yourself, you go into one ditch and you dig really, really deep, okay? And the second ditch, every time someone tells you something positive about yourself, you dig really deep into that one. And these, psychologically, they're called something cool. Do you guys want to know what it is? Neurological pathways. Okay? So neurological pathways are what allow you to be able to perform based on the things that you've been told or what you've been told to yourself. Okay? So one thing a lot of you guys will do is when you tell yourself something negative, it breaks. Your neurological pathways will break. But just because they have broken does not mean that they cannot be restored. When something happens, when you're confronted with an adverse thing in your life, you don't have to go directly to the negative ditch. You can go to the positive ditch. So, you guys have a choice in life. You have a choice to simply survive, get by every day, or you have the choice to succeed and to thrive. What are you guys going to do? Thank you.